This is the Sourceseeker Hour. I'm your host, Baruti Carl Alexander. I am so glad to join you all for this new year episode. We are very appreciative, and we wanted to start the new year with a bang and talk about new things happening in the world, new things, new investments, new exciting possibilities. The 2022 can be the year of possibilities, and we want to bring different ideals and different ways of looking at the world to you and have everybody see different things, different ways of looking at things. And we want to bring three different perspectives to the show to bring forth different ideals. And I just want to turn it over to my guest, my powerful guests, and talk about what the ideas that they have. And this is our 103rd episode. We're going to get it together. We're going to start strong in the year 2022. Can you all believe that? 2022. This is powerful. If we remember back in the year 2000, we were saying, what's going to happen? What's going on? And we are all the way up into 2022 today. And I'm so blessed and I'm thankful. And I want to introduce our guests and let them introduce themselves. Excuse me. Brother Kefing, introduce yourself.
Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Kefing Moore. As I was telling Brother Malloy, and welcome, Sister Mattie. Happy New Year to you. And I was telling him that I'm married, been married for 38 years, have 3 children, grew up in north of Detroit in a small black town called Royal Oak Township, Michigan, where I cut my teeth and saw, Black businesses in the Black community. In fact, the police chief was my next door neighbor. So I grew up there, went to school at Eastern Michigan University, joined the Shrines of the Black Madonna that's a church, in 1975, retired from General Motors and moved back to Atlanta, where I'm spending my time now with my wife and my youngest daughter, my son. And I have my oldest daughter, she's in Chicago now.
Thank you, brother. Brother Darryl, a disclaimer, I've been knowing Darryl a long time. Share a little bit about yourself, Darryl, and let the people know who you are and what you do.
Okay. Darryl Malloy. I'm a real estate broker with Doss Pros, and I've known Carl since I was in elementary school. Carl and I grew up together, and from originally born in Philadelphia, grew up in Houston, recently relocated to the Dallas area, and I have a degree in accounting with a minor in construction management and a seasoned real estate broker.
All right.
Thank you very much. Sister Mattie, would you like to tell us about yourself?
Well, of course. Hi, everybody. My name is Mc Reynolds Whitfield. It's so wonderful to be here with you all this evening. I am an entrepreneur. I call myself a digital entrepreneur, actually, still in cryptocurrency, foreign currency, Forex, and regular indices. I enjoy what I do because it allows me to live my life while earning an income and helping other people be able to learn to do the same. I am also a speaker. I have an organization called Global Women of Wealth, where we teach women spirituality, femininity, and manifestation so that they can be incredible for their future. Born in Chicago, live in Houston because I don't like cold weather. And just enjoy life. Like, I truly believe that everybody should get out here and do what they're passionate about and make it happen.
Thank you very much. We have a very diverse guest pool, and we want to get into that. Different ideals of investing and different things we can do in the new year coming up. And we have other guests that have joined us. Some just want to listen, and others may want to speak. Brother Veon, you want to introduce yourself? You're on mute, brother. You're on mute. We'll come back to you. There are a lot of
Okay,
different
I'm here.
ideas. I've heard so many different ideas on investing. If you look in the chat box over there, we have some ideas. I looked up the 5 biggest trends of 2022. And as it says blockchains, it says electric vehicles. And I was surprised, Darryl, that real estate was right there in the middle. And of course, artificial intelligence, and then data science. And if you all are unfamiliar with blockchains, that's dealing with cryptocurrency, but to a certain extent, it's also dealing with NFTs, which is, I looked it up, it's non-fungible tokens. And that's a new data stream, new world that is opening up, and people are making their place in that digital world along these different areas. Would anyone like to jump into these different areas and just start discussing what you see as trends that are happening? I just opened it up because there's so many different ideas. Mattie, would you like to share?
Oh, sure, I'll start. Okay, so when you mentioned the blockchain, we're now in 2022, and it's truly an age of digital era. And the way that like, you hear a lot of people that are like, oh my God, the world is ending and all of this other stuff with the technology, but it's not necessarily that the world, or in my opinion, it's not necessarily that the world is ending, it as the world as we know it. Mm-hmm. And what we've become comfortable with is ending. Mm-hmm. The world of put your cash under your mattress, mm-hmm. make sure you have enough liquid money, all of that is ending. Mm-hmm. And we're moving into an era that is truly card, that is cryptocurrency, that is digital real estate. So the blockchain is mm-hmm. almost like a housing department that holds all of these things as crypto, as the non-fungible tokens, which are the NFTs that are like really popular right now. You're seeing all of these people talk about, hey, I flipped my NFT. Like the NFT is all like property. That is of it when we talk about the metaverse. So you have people who Facebook, and the owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, has changed Facebook to Meta, which is metaverse. Mm-hmm. Which you use in the metaverse, which are those glasses that take you into their digital world. So the way that we're moving is into a digital era where our kids and even the adults and all of the people who used to do social activities, they're now going to be putting these on and be able to be whom
we have a connection that is sticking and so forth. So let's see if we can clear that up. It's sticking a little bit. Brother Moore, mm-hmm. What do you see as the trends happening, and what do you believe where it's going?
Well, what Mattie, she hit on it, and the whole digital economy and the metaverse and all of that is transforming how business is done, how life is done. You know, if you don't have a digital wallet, if you're not into cryptocurrency, at least, you know, learning how it works, you know, it's just a medium. It's another form of money that's moving away from the fiat or dollar bills or that type of currency is moving to a whole different world. And we as a people, talking about Black people, if we don't get on board now, you know, I read several articles about talking about the wealth gap and all of that, but the gap is going to only get wider if we don't get involved now and learn how to navigate cryptocurrency and this whole new digital economy and the metaverse and all that kind of stuff. I was listening to Dr. Boyce Watkins. He was talking about the metaverse, how you can put on these glasses and you can change the scenery. You can be on Mars. You can change the scenery to background being at Mars. So that whole, I know I'm kind of jumping around, but that whole piece that Star Trek did, where you would have the whole holograms, that's real now. That's here now. You got, vehicles driving themselves. I'm not really feeling that right now, but it's here. So everything is changing to that type of a world, the metaverse. And if we're not part of that, we're going to be left behind. And I just said all that to say that one reason why I came up with the BCN Sokini, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead or not. If you want to,
no, go ahead.
If you want to get to Brother Darryl, let him talk. But the whole piece about the BCN Sokini is kind of, even though things are moving towards the metaverse, we have to always stay connected to our history, to what our ancestors did, so we can learn the lessons that they left us, so that we won't be left behind going forward. And I created the BCN Sokini. Sokini just means marketplace. And the idea is that, we got Black churches is really the only main institution that we control from the top to bottom. And that institution has to be significant in this transition in terms of being accessible to its membership, whereby what I mean is, a church may have 20, 50, have business owners in the congregation. And churches are asking for people to tithe, but very seldom, at least in my experience, I'm sure there are other churches that are more forward thinking. They invest in the businesses within the confines of their church. So if you help your parishioners build their businesses, they can give more tithes to the church and build the institutions that the church needs to build in the community, in services to the community, and be more of an asset to the community. So that's why I came up with the BCN community, BCN Sokini, as one marketplace whereby all of the businesses have kind of like a built-in base, customer base. And then of course, as you build your business, then you start relating to other businesses and other communities outside of the church community.
So BCN, and you pronounce it Sokini?
Sokini, S-O-K-O-N-I.
So it is a place where people can come and see different products, different things, and purchase. Okay.
Right.
I want to interject this also. It's still in the beginning of cryptocurrency, and not everybody is seeing a windfall at this particular time. And it's still not regulated, and it's a possibility that it will become regulated. And how is that going to affect things? So you still got to be very careful and understand what you're doing in the crypto market and dealing with blockchain. Anything new, you still got to pay attention to. So Darryl, what do you think about all this stuff going on? And is real estate still always going to be the thing, no matter what's going on?
Well, I'm a touchy-feely kind of guy. So for me, it does work. You can't touch it, you can't feel it. Of course, we're having tremendous growth and appreciation in values right now. Interest rates have been low, so it's a great investment to invest in real estate. And right now, I think one thing that people have to consider is that if you currently own real estate and you've had it for a number of years, there's a lot of equity built into that real estate. And figuring out ways to take some of your equity out and then maybe make blockchain investments, make cryptocurrency investments, and actually start utilizing the equity that we have to make further investments. But I think real estate is a solid investment.
That's why it's still
they're not building more land.
Growth area.
They're not building any more land.
Right. It's always going to be valuable. Is Brother Veon still in here? Let's see. Okay, well, he's come back to him. We'll come back to him. Sister Mattie, there are a lot of different possibilities of investments. I heard tell that you had invested in, if I may say, cannabis. And how is that working?
Yes. So I had a CBD company. Unfortunately, I can't have full cannabis yet because it's not legal here in Texas. I don't know what they're waiting on, but
your connection is still sticky. Yes, your connection. We'll come back to you, Sister Mattie. Brother Veon, how
Yes,
you
sir.
doing, brother?
I'm doing great.
Okay.
I'm
What you say about the conversation that we're having about different investment possibilities and ideals? And I know you're on your bike. How's it going out there, brother?
Oh, it's great. It's great. I'm down here at Market Square. There'll be probably about 300-400 people here in a little bit to do a ride. So I'm out here getting ready to ride this bike this evening. But to go back to the conversation, you know, what it sounds like to me is like an emancipation that, you know, Black folks said, well, the way for us to get together and achieve something is to take up the lifestyle like our master. And so now we're trying to continue down this bankrupt road of capitalism. And what we see that capitalism has done is really destroyed the planet. And so the things that we're talking about making money in is those things that continually destroy the planet. You know, I didn't hear people talking about investing in healthy food, alternative energy, particularly solar, which is really nasty in the end, or trying to teach people how to live a more natural life, trying to really educate our people, because right now, misinformation is a pandemic. That's something that we need definitely to get away from. And I think people will pay for good information. And that's why, CNN and all those other things exist, because people think that they're going to provide them a product. And so, here you have the advertising and all that to support them. But personally, I think our biggest issue and where we need to try to figure out sources of income is what is going to address the issue of climate change. How can I do something that will affect our lifestyles to make us live more in harmony with nature? How can I clean up the dirty water so that we can drink? How can I clean up the food so that we can eat? How can I learn to garden in my neighborhood and make a profit off of that? I think we need some basic things of life rather than trying to continue along this capitalistic.
So let me understand. To a certain extent, you say we're going down the wrong road of capitalism, but we live in a capitalist country, and we got to pay our bills. So kind of the argument is fighting against yourself.
No, not really. Because because we generally have enough to pay our bills and live. However, we generally live way higher than we need. We have 2 cars. Personally, I don't have a car. So, the amount of money that it would take for me to operate a car, I don't have to earn that money. So it makes me not participate in the system that much. So the 5,000 square foot house, I'm not striving for that. So I don't need to make $200,000 a year.
But you would agree that not everybody would be happy with an agrarian lifestyle, correct?
They need to get happy, because we are not going to have a place to live.
No,
I'm okay. That's all right.
Can I jump
in? Give yourself another 20
wouldn't
years.
be happy with that. Now, when I went over to other countries, I will say this. It was an uncomfortable environment when I went to a different country, and I was very glad to get back here. But I do understand what you're saying. If we can learn how to live more within our means, we would have more stuff. But everybody would not be necessarily happy in that living by that lifestyle. So we have to have balance. I throw it back out to my other guest, Mattie. What you say about that particular perspective?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I got you.
Okay. I mean, I do agree. There are things that do need to be done in regards to our planet and our climate change. And if they aren't done, then we more than likely won't have a place to live. But I also agree with you in regards to everybody is not going to be happy with that lifestyle. Like everyone does not desire to have a small house or to not have a car or to live in a lower means. Like there are some people who do not mind putting in the work to live the luxurious lifestyle that they have. I happen to be one of them. I don't want to ride no bike. I don't want to, and maybe I'm just younger, so I want to have those experiences, but I want to travel the world, and I do travel now, and I don't want to do it on a low means. Like, I don't have that desire. And in regards to cryptocurrency and the blockchain and people, it's going to happen. Like, you're either going to get with it or you're not, but it's going to happen.
What about it not being totally regulated right now? And what's the possibility of what may happen? Should we be concerned about that?
No. So it's on its way to being regulated. They're actually in the process of putting together the laws so the larger corporations can actually join in. But one thing, the concern is not the way that people think it should be. The concern is not always going to go down once it gets regulated and things of that nature. The concern should be how the prices are going to go up once it gets regulated. Because you literally have corporations, you have countries that are awaiting the laws. Like Dubai has put together an entire center with billions of dollars waiting on the regulation so that they can dump it into cryptocurrency. So for the average person, this is the time to buy in the dip, because you can buy small Satoshis. You can buy and invest where you are. Soon, it's going to be so high that you won't be able to get the value that you were going to get before. That's why I tell people right now is the time. Like, learn everything that you can learn the use cases for the coins. All coins are not money. Some coins have purpose on the metaverse. Some coins have other type of purposes. Find your niche. Even in the real estate with Darryl, you literally have companies that are buying land on the metaverse. Mm-hmm. Like they're buying blocks.
Can you share what the metaverse is? What are you talking about, the metaverse?
So the metaverse is a virtual world. And it's literally like the world that we live in, where you can put on those Oculus glasses and you have your character, whomever you choose to be, which is your NFT, and you can go shopping. Atari has a casino. You can go to concerts. You can do everything that you could do in this world. Like literally our meeting that we're having right now on Zoom, we can put on those Oculus glasses, meet in the same place at the metaverse, and it's literally going to be our entire body as if we are in the same room at the same time. And you're going to be able to do that with people all across the world. So my favorite movie to kind of describe that for people is Ready Player One. It came out in 2018, and that movie covered so many levels of where we're going, even with the divide in the poverty. Like there literally was no middle class. You either had money or you didn't. It had people who did not live in the realistic world. Everybody lived in the virtual world because you truly could be whomever you wanted to be. Like how people be whomever they want to be on social media, it's going to a whole different level in the metaverse. And the way that you purchase things, the way that you participated in experiences and things of that nature will be with the cryptocurrency. So that will be your money. It'll be different tokens that allow you to participate in different things. And so where we come in, all of those currencies have companies backing them. invest in those companies. All of those companies and those coins, invest in those companies. Get you some shit, well, not shares, but get you some coins. Learn how to properly secure your wallet, because you have a lot of people who are leaving their coins on these exchanges. That is not smart. Learn how to properly secure your coins, secure your money, and it's going to change your life.
When you talk
literally
about
have
leaving
gains.
it on exchanges, you're talking about things like Coinbase?
Yes,
Okay.
your coins should not stay on Coinbase.
Okay. So where should you put it?
So there are different things called cold storage wallets. So with cold storage wallets, you have one of the most popular is called a ledger. So with that, you would take your coins off of Coinbase, take them off of Binance, take them off of crypto.com, take them off of FTX, all of those places, and put them on your coin storage wallet, and then put them somewhere secure, probably a fire safe or a safety deposit box. You can still watch your money grow. You can still do everything that you need to do. But what you don't want to happen, companies close every single day. So if you leave your coins on these exchanges and they decide to close, what are you going to do? You have some companies who had to stop doing business in the United States. So everybody who's had coins and cryptocurrency on those exchanges lost their money. Like they had a small window to get their money. So if you weren't present to get your money off of that exchange in that small window, your money is gone. And there's nothing you can do about it. So you have to learn that what's missing is the educational portion. Like people literally are going to have to really get themselves educated in cryptocurrency. And that's one of the things that I help people with. Like you need the proper education. So if you're going to invest this money and it's going to be real money, like we're not talking small numbers. You don't need to do that like from a YouTube person that's telling you what to do. You need to truly educate yourself. You can't be a doctor by going to YouTube University, period. So it's the same thing. YouTube University is only going to give you so much information. You have to get the proper education so that your money, you can see it grow and you can keep it. The whole purpose is to keep this so that we can go to Darryl and buy some more buildings and we can charge people cryptocurrency for their rent.
Sounds powerful. There are so many different things that are out there that we have to learn. One thing I know is it's becoming much more mainstream. The Staples Centers has changed to the crypto.com arena. So it's happening just like you say, but the education is lacking, especially in our community. So that's why a setting like this, a conversation like this is so important, and we need to have so many more. Darryl, you mentioned DOS. What does DOS mean, and what do you see as an integration between real estate and this new digital world? Or are you doing more things digital today? Is it kind of catching up?
It's catching up. You know, DOS is a real estate technology company.
Okay.
And so we're the only real estate company that's actually been endorsed by Google. And our goal with DOS is actually be the Siri of real estate. It'll be voice activated. It's artificial intelligence to provide consumers with all the information they need regarding real estate. Any question about the process, about the mortgage process, the home buying process, about actual properties itself, you can use DOS to find all that kind of information. So it's a game changer in the real estate marketplace. Now, I think that my question becomes, how do we educate ourselves regarding the cryptocurrency and NFTs and all those kinds of things? I think that's important. I think that is a way of investing. And I do agree with everyone that we shouldn't let that get left behind in those areas. And just figuring out, how do you get educated in those areas? You know, I had a deal recently. We had a property up for sale. We had a guy that offered to purchase the property. He offered and we were doing everybody had to pay cash for the property. And we were looking at everyone's financials. And this guy presented us with, and my clients were older clients. They were older guys that were selling their investment property. And so this guy presented us with a proof of funds that was cryptocurrency. And even though he had the highest bid, my clients weren't comfortable accepting the cryptocurrency as his proof of funds. And to be able to educate them at a 5 o'clock deadline about, okay, now this is what it is, I couldn't do it. And so we ended up going with someone that, had just cash money in Wells Fargo. And so I think education is real important. And I just hate to see us with a gap. I personally hate to see a gap in my learning. I mean, I'm actually investing in or investigating in how to use NFTs. One thing I do also is I'm an art dealer. So I'm looking at a way to sell art through NFTs. And from what my research so far says that, let's say for an artist, that an artist sells a piece of art on an NFT, and he will constantly be paid a commission on that piece of art, no matter who buys it. So he'll still be the original owner. It'll always pay him back for selling it again. He'll get a commission on it. And that's an excellent way for artists, especially, to really make money. I mean, you think about, let's say in art right now, the highest producing artist last year was Black guy, Jean Michael Basquiat. $40 million, I think he sold in art, and he's deceased. And it was the resale market that made the money on his art, not him. Now, he made big money with art in the 80s before he passed, but that was 80s money. Now, though, that art is being resold over and over and over again, and it's making millions and millions and millions of dollars. And here it is, you take a guy that died in the 80s that was the highest producing artist in 2021. So we have to learn to protect ourselves and educate ourselves so that we can make money as the trends do change.
What I see is the biggest thing is the education of all these new markets, NFTs, blockchains, artificial intelligence, and they talking about data science. Across the board, everything is going in that direction. I look at myself as being pretty knowledgeable on, technology, but I'm sure maybe I only know maybe 15% of everything that's out there now, that much. And it's a difficult thing because it's so much and it's happening so fast. So that's what we need. We do need much more education in this area of new technology and digital technology. What is your vision for what you're going to do with BCN Sokini and other businesses, Brother Moore?
Well, I'm glad you asked that. And I just wanted to go back to what Dr. Veon was talking about. I know the conversation we were having, he equated it to a capitalist conversation, but that's not where I was coming from. I was coming from more of a cooperative economics, since we just came out of Kwanzaa, which should be a lifestyle and not something that we just celebrate for a few days and then drop it for the rest of the year and go back to whatever we were doing before. But this whole piece that we're talking about, if we're going to move, I'm talking about we as a people, if we're going to move into this new universe of the blockchain and cryptocurrency and the metaverse and all that, we need to move as a group, as a people. So we need to educate ourselves as a people. So churches need to get their congregations together, or any groups need to come together as a group and educate their people so we can move forward, not as individuals, but as a people into this new economy. And something that you said, Brother Baruti, you said that we live in a capitalist society, and that's true. But like Jesus said, you know, we can be in the world, but not of the world. We don't have to be capitalists because colonizers are capitalists. You know, that's the framework that they work out of, which is based on individualism and materialism and greed. We don't have to follow in those footsteps. And what I mean by that is we create cooperatives where we work as a group, where there aren't any billionaires, but there aren't any homeless people either. So that we as a cooperative, we take care of the needs of everybody. And that system is based more so on our ancestors and where we came from, a communal society, as opposed to an individualistic capitalistic society where you can have people now talking about being trillionaires, and you're talking about people dominating, even taking over the cryptocurrency world, where you have a few individuals making, they're trying to make trillions of dollars, and at the same time, you have people who are walking around who are homeless, which is unthinkable. You know, that type of society, I don't think we need to be going in that direction. So just to answer your question in terms of the BCN Sokini, that whole idea is group centered. It's a cooperative centered, and that's how I've got introduced into the cryptocurrency world, is through cooperative economics, through crowdfunding, and also merging the digital world. All those three entities coming together so that we can move forward, move groups of people forward as a people, as opposed to individuals.
I just want to say this. I am for progress as a group, but first you got to take care of your individual circle first, so you can shine your light greater. For instance, if you're struggling, it's harder to help other people because you're struggling. So when I say capitalist, we do have to use the capitalist system to be able to advance ourselves. That is where we live. And you can use that to be able to help other people, yes. Because if you're shining your light, then, I mean, look at it like this. You build a circle yourself, and then you connect with other circles. And that's what I believe. And you create bigger circles by the circle that you start, and then people see that you have been successful, and then they join in, and you all grow bigger. But at the same point, because everybody's not going to join in. Everybody's not going to be a part of the group. So you have to still move forward. You have to be smart about it also. And because, you know, speaking of Veon, are you still there? I don't want to speak for you, but
yes, sir. I'm back.
I understand where you're coming from, but you can't go away from pushing forward and being successful yourself so that you can help others. That's my argument.
I think we need a whole new definition of what success is. Because generally success for, you know, when I was growing up was I need the biggest house, the most cars, and the most money, and the most women that I could possibly get.
Oh, come on.
And
now.
then I'm just telling you what, when I was growing up, success was for me, you know, or what was put out there for me. And I don't think it's too different. The model that they put out there now is the same thing, is try to get as much resources as you possibly can. Just look, you were just talking about the billionaires and that have all this money, but yet and still they don't try to help other people. They have enough money to end homelessness all over the world. If we take the excess money that people have, we could end poverty all over the world. We could have health care all over the world. But no, a few greedy people say, that let them die. We don't care. Just like when COVID first started, they said, well, okay, we can just let the old people die and still keep making money. Win-win. So that's the type of mentality that we have in this country. So that's why the earth has rebelled against us. We don't see it yet. I mean, some people see it. You can look up in California, what the storms that are currently going through the eastern half of the United States just came through the Midwest. The type of weather changes that we're getting, and not only weather, but you're getting insects and animals are dying off, extinct, becoming extinct, and we don't really know what the outcome of that is going to be. But we still want to continue the same lifestyle that caused these problems. That's ludicrous to me.
The way I look at it is, how many people can you help and take care of to be able to support? That is, I would say, a model for success. How many people? I mean, if you have 25 family members and you're able to help all of them, nobody's homeless, you're able to help everybody with their medical, everybody has food, so forth, so on. And you are able to live in a satisfactory way, not with necessarily no big house and so forth, but comfortable. So I'm not talking about ego-centered. I'm talking about value-centered. And sometimes, it's okay to have a 2-story house. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with having a 2-story house.
Yes, it is.
Now,
If
you have 25 rooms in your house and there's only three people in the house, maybe that's opulence. But it's okay to have a 2-story house and it's just you and your wife and a couple of kids, and it's okay because you need that extra room.
Can I talk?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Okay, so both of you are making great points, but here's the challenge with that. In my opinion, I don't think that we necessarily need the millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires to come in and help everybody and save everybody and rescue everybody. What people need is a mindset shift, because you can come in and give them everything that they needed in a small time frame. They're going to be right back to where they were because they still have that same mindset. Mm-hmm. So they need to change their internal thinking. They need to change their mindset. They need the education, the spirituality, the awakening to be able to change their life. Because other than that, you're going to be enabling them. And the Bible says that you're not supposed to enable people or it's going to be taken from you. So you can't just say, they don't want to help people. They do help people. They do things, but they're not going to enable people because these are healthy people. There's nothing wrong with them. If it is, it's mental. So let's get them the mental health that they need. Let's put the money into the mental health system. Let's deal with the different elements that people are dealing with so that you can empower them to take care of themselves. You can't just give a man everything that he needs and expect him to be a man. He's not even going to want that. Like, you have to help him be able to do for himself, do for his family, so that he can be proud of what he's actually accomplishing. That's what's needed. And I can honestly say that a lot of this younger generation, you got some that are absolutely off the ringer, but you got a lot of them that are experiencing a super awakening, that are not falling for the same things and the same old mentalities that were before. So they are getting the money. They are securing, as they call it, securing the bag, and then they're going to help other people. They're going back and making sure that that old system where we were taught to go work a job for 50 years and just don't have a life, don't exist. They're actually living, they're traveling, they're seeing more. So those type of things are what we need. They need a mindset shift, not just handing them some money to say,
like the Bible
now
says,
you're okay.
Teach them how to fish. Just don't give them a fish. Teach them how to fish.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yes. And then when it comes to cryptocurrency, it's saving people in different countries. So there are in countries that women are not allowed to work, that women are not allowed to make any money, and the husband controls the money and the men control the money. But now these women are able to get paid in crypto, and they own their wallet. They're capable of using their wallet to be able to do other things. So there are great things that are occurring with that because the market is DeFi, meaning that it's not managed by the traditional banks, the traditional Federal Reserve. These women now can have money to be able to do for themselves without having to beg a bank to go against their traditional sexist rules. So there are so many vast things that this digital currency is going to make happen. It's just we don't fully know about all of it. And then when it comes to collective and our people, again, there's a mindset shift because I've talked to plenty of people like, it's unfamiliar for them. And most people don't like things that are unfamiliar, things that are changing. And they don't really understand that you're going to have to change. Like you either can choose to change and learn and get ahead of it, or you're going to be pushed into it and you're not going to know. And then you're going to be behind and then you're going to complain and you're going to say, oh, well, I didn't know. And they did this and the system did this and the man. No, you have the same opportunities right now to learn just like everybody else. And this can be an opportunity for our people to put themselves in position where we can help each other, where we can have the finances. If you want to live a meager life or you want to live a luxurious life, whatever your mindset allows you to be able to do, because money is energy. So whatever you're attracting to you and you put out there to get done, that is available for you in this new digital era. Without people telling you like the skin color, all of that stuff, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're behind a computer. Like you're literally, and when you get into the metaverse, you can be whoever you want, literally a monster. So it doesn't matter. You don't have those same hangups. You don't have those same racial profiling that is going on with a bank. Now, once people, like you said, with the whole people understanding more, then you'll be able to go out and actually purchase more things. But you have like Burger King, Starbucks, a lot of the casinos in Vegas, everyone's accepting Bitcoin right now. You see more Bitcoin ATMs popping up. It's becoming more familiar. You mentioned the Staples Center. There is I don't know if it's football or basketball, but in Florida, the exchange FTX, they just purchased that. So they're getting out there with the brand awareness to make people feel more comfortable with it. But this is happening no matter what. And a person's heart is going to do what they're going to do with it no matter what, because that's just their mindset.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I thought that was a great
very
point.
Powerful show. And we're going to go a little bit longer, but I want everybody to start thinking about their statements, their final statements. And we're going to go a little bit longer because I want to give everybody time enough to make a full statement as we end up. Brother Kefing, you were talking about the future of what you're planning. Do you have any other businesses you're looking at and different things that you're looking at as far as 2022 and the future and beyond?
Yes, brother. I just wanted to chime in on what Sister Mattie said about when she was talking about cryptocurrency and the whole digital world and how women can be more empowered. But everybody can be more empowered because, like that bank she was talking about, this whole new world right now is giving each person to be their own bank, which empowers each individual to be able to build their own bank, which is something. That's why these big time equity firms or Wall Street, they're trying to get their hands on it so they can control it, because people right now people can blow up without them, and that's what they don't want, and that's what the world needs, a system that's independent of the system that has been built, that's based on individuals making this decision whether or not you get a loan or whether or not you can do this or that. In this world, that takes that whole mindset off the table where you can control your own. So what I was saying, what I'm doing in the future, I'm involved in a crowdfunding company that allows people to crowdfund utilizing cryptocurrency. And it works on not just the individuals, but let's say the traditional crowdfunding where somebody sets up a crowdfund, people die, and you set up a crowdfunding for that particular individual. This particular crowdfunding is based on once you set it up, then whoever donates, they become a part of that system too. So not only are you able to collect donations, but whoever donates to you are automatically put into the same pot where they too can receive donations from the crypto world from all over the world, not just where you are, but wherever you are in the world. So that way you can build wealth, and you can build generational wealth that way. And I just said that from a group standpoint, from a church standpoint. We have Black churches all over the country. Black churches and ministers are going to have to get on this in terms of the education piece that Mattie and brother Darryl was talking about, and you Carl was talking about also. In order for us to, as a people, to get into this game, we're going to have all of our institutions to come together and start educating people at the school level, everywhere. All of our children, they should know about cryptocurrency, how it works, how it relates to us in the future, how to set up a digital wallet. That should be second nature. So when our children, by the time they're at the end of elementary, they've already mastered, how that whole piece works. And we know how once young people get into something, once they figure it out, it's a wrap. They're gonna take it to a whole nother different level. So we're at a juncture right now where we need ministers to get it, ministers, teachers, all of our educators to get into this game and learn it, so we can teach our youth who are coming up so that they know it. And that way, that's how we're going to liberate ourselves in terms of the Pan-African world, where education, we got the World Wide Web, education information is available to everybody. It's like Mattie was talking about, in this world we live in right now, it's incomprehensible for you not to be educated, because the information is there. And I know there are certain instances where people don't have access to the World Wide Web and all that kind of stuff. But for the vast majority of people, that information is there. And right now, we have a chance to put as many people into the game as possible, so they know how to do it. And what Brother Veon was talking about in terms of protecting the environment, all of this is connected, because if the environment falls apart, which everything else is going to fall apart. So, in terms of an educational piece, that's where we need to go collectively as a people, in my opinion.
Brother Moore, can you share how people can connect with you if they want to ask you some questions as we end up?
Sure. You can email me at KEFING Moore MOOR at AOL.com. And you can email me, and I can answer any questions. Hopefully, try to answer any questions that you may have about the BCN Sokini and where we want to go in terms of the metaverse and the crypto world.
All right. Thank you very much. This is our 103rd episode of the Sourceseeker Hour. I'm your host, Baruti Carl Alexander. This has been a powerful show. We're going to continue a little bit longer and give everybody a chance to make a full statement and share what they would like to share as we go. And you can contact them and talk more after the episode, and we're going to continue. Brother Veon, you want to make a final statement?
Yes, sir. I just like to say that climate change, it seems like I'm harping on climate change, but that's the biggest issue and the most critical issue. And when the planet turns against us, like as it is, we won't be able to live. So the lifestyle that we're currently living is not one that's in harmony with nature. The brothers say go back and look at how our ancestors lived. Our ancestors lived very simply, and they didn't have two-story houses. I just watched a program on Africa, Nigeria, a couple of days ago, The people are living out on, little boats or raft houses, where they just, maybe 10 by 10 room, and it might be 3-4 people sleeping in there. So, when you say be happy, happy is having enough food, and the people around you are satisfied, and we don't have a threat from other people coming in trying to take our stuff. So hopefully we can get the world to change and look at the earth as our mother, and the things that we talk about, the businesses, that if your business pollutes and destroys this earth, that's not the way we need to go. We need to go on the reclamation of the earth, feeding our people, getting our people healthy. Those are the type of businesses we need to be in, not necessarily the accumulation of capital for capital's sake, but the accumulation of capital to address social ills.
I do know you have to have resources. You have to have money to make something happen, though, because good ideals and good values and those things are good, but when you're competing against people who are using resources against you, then it's difficult to win in that situation. I will say that. I understand what you're saying. I just say you have to have balance. You have to have balance. You have to have resources also. Because you especially in this economy, in this environment, you have to have resources to be able to make something happen. So, Veon, you want to
I just want to say
how they can
human capital.
Contact you?
Yes. I'm easy to get. VEONMC@gmail is the best way to get me. But human capital is the only real capital. And so when the brother says we need to get together, when we get together, we can stop this whole system from operating just by using our human capital. And we saw that happen last year, on a worldwide basis. We went out and protested, and it moved over the whole world. So, so it can happen. It just, if we just have the mindset.
One of the ideas behind the Sourceseeker Hour and the things I do is we have a platform to bring ideas together so we can talk about these particular things. But it's not as simple as us just getting together. We have to get together on common ideals also and be able to want to move forward. We have 6 people here, but we still have different ideals. And it takes work and resources to be able to put all our human capital ideals together. So I understand what you're talking about, but I don't want to make that a simplistic thing. And we have to have be able to put together our resources and our human capital to move things forward. And that's a project. That's a job. That's a work. And so I just wanted to share that. Brother Darryl, what do you see as the future, and what would you like to share with people as we go on what they should be looking forward to and trying to do in 2022? Should they just focus on, I would say, a variety of things, including real estate and including cryptocurrency? What do you say?
I would agree. I think that we have to, I think balance is the biggest word. And after balance is education. We have to educate the people, educate ourselves so that we understand what's going on. And then we have to watch the major capitalists and see what they're doing. So let's say, for example, right now, Bezos, Gates are some of your largest landowners, and they're some of your largest farm owners. So they're going out. I mean, Gates, I saw Gates on an interview. He talked about he hadn't done anything with Microsoft in 20 years. For the past 20 years, He's been investing in land, investing in farms, and investing in alternative energy. So he's spent millions of dollars, billions of dollars on that to control that. And as Veon was saying, we got to learn to eat off the land and live off the land. So we got to have a healthy lifestyle. We have to go have that mindset that our health is our wealth.
Yep.
And so it's very important. I mean, then you look at someone like Buffett. Buffett's investing in water. It's like, why would you invest in water if the earth is covered with water? But he's investing in water. He's investing in land and houses as well. So we got to watch what the big boys are doing to figure out where we should be protecting ourselves. I think that the digital exchange, as Mattie made mention, that is a economic equalizer. If we see it working in the third world countries for women that haven't necessarily had rights in the past, and now they're gaining their money to have their rights, we have to understand that we have to do the exact same thing. That if we don't keep up, we'll definitely get left behind. And if you think about if the third world countries are catching up with us based on the digital exchange, then as African Americans, we can find ourselves as the third world within the first world, within America. So we got to catch up on that as far as educating ourselves. I think we got to start. I mean, of course, we have the boomers, let's say the older guys, us ourselves, I'll say for myself, educating myself on the processes, but we definitely have to educate the young people and for them to understand that that's what the future is. I tell people that years ago, I found myself working with Hispanic clients. And if you could imagine doing a real estate deal and the parents don't speak English, but they bring their 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids to the table to interpret. And I'm sitting there like, okay, now if you're interpreting what I'm saying, you're actually learning the process 12 years ahead of my kids. Because you've learned it at 12, and when they get to be 24, they already understand how to buy and sell real estate.
Yep.
So we have to educate our people, our kids at a very early age and how to make a difference in the marketplace. I think that, I've done mentoring over the years. This year was kind of tough with mentoring for me because I was mentoring some high school kids and it was too late. I couldn't make a difference. And that was like disappointing to me. I mean, it's like I could not make a difference. And so I figured, okay, I got to go back to trying to mentor 8-year-olds versus 18-year-olds. The 18-year, their mindset's different. They've almost already given up. And it's like, how can you work with someone and change a mindset, as Mattie said, of someone that's already given up? So we got to make sure that we're educating ourselves on cryptocurrency, educating ourselves on buying versus renting, whether it's a house, whether it's land, whether it's and then we got to understand with housing. Let's say I'll jump in with Mattie here. There, the way the world is set up, or way America is set up in a way in housing, you have master plan communities. So you got various size houses. If you ever notice, if you drive, let's say, for example, let's take River Oaks in Houston. You go from River Oaks to Fourth Ward, and the way it was designed was the people in Fourth Ward with close proximity to the people in River Oaks so that they could serve the people in River Oaks. Yep. So it's by design, it's master planned and designed for people to get to work. So we got to have that working capital. So you have them get to work so they can work and serve the people that are making more money. So we got to understand that that's just how economics is set up. How do we take advantage of it? I worked on a project years ago in Fourth Ward to help people relocate. And the craziest part was these people have lived in houses in Fourth Ward for over 30 years, but they never owned it. They've been renting forever. So here it is, you're thinking that it's a Black community. It's like, yeah, we were Black renters, but we weren't Black owners. It was our community, yes, but we didn't own it. So we got to make sure that we're owning things, and that will definitely make a difference. I think, one thing that we tapped into from the beginning that's, I think, huge and major is the Black church. Because if we're paying tithes and offerings into the Black church, Black churches should be setting up banks, should be setting up credit unions. And so we almost shouldn't have to leave out of our community to borrow money, to invest money, because we almost should be able to go to the Black church and borrow money, invest money, and have them invest in the companies that are within their churches. So, I mean, that's, of course, that's a major mindset change there, to think of the churches saying, okay, we're going to invest in our people versus the people investing in the church. You know, I don't want to start anything, but that is
I just want to interject this also. Is very, we have been taught to not really trust each other over, you know, past time and so forth. And that was encouraged through slavery and all of those other things. So it's a difficult process, and it's not an easy thing to work with each other. But what we're doing here, we're talking about it. We're trying to understand different aspects and different perspectives, and that is where it starts. And we get better, and we start to understand, and we have an opportunity to learn how to work together, and that's important. To learn how to work together, learn how to trust one another, learn how to try new opportunities with each other. So that's important. Go ahead, Darryl, and share with us how people can reach you if they want to, and continue with your what you were saying.
The one thing I add to what you just said is thinking about it from a track standpoint. And you got the 4 different runners on a relay team. Each person has a different specialty. And if we don't respect the other person's specialty, then we can't make it as a team. So let's say, for example, we got 5 of us here today. Almost if you took 20% of what each of us said, and we were able to agree to disagree or agree to agree with our 20% and put it together and make 100%, and to trust one another, we can make a world of a difference. Yep. I'm Darryl Malloy. I can be reached at 469-649-6274, or you can reach me at Darryl, DARRYL .MALLOY at DOS, DOSS pros, PROS.com. Thank you.
Thank you, D. Thank you very much.
Brother
this has been a very powerful program, and we're going to continue to do many programs like that. Yes, Brother Kefing.
Yeah, I was going to ask everyone on, Mattie and our brother Darryl and brother Veon, if you could put your information in the chat. I'd appreciate it.
All right. Sister Mattie, what if somebody's watching this and saying, this is a good thing y'all talking about, how do I get started? Where do I go? What is the possibilities? I got a little bit of money. I want to start trying to do some of these new things. What are you going to share with them?
Well, first of all, so you can reach me social media wise. My name is I am MZ Whitfield. That's WHITFIELD. And that's on Facebook. That's on Instagram. I think it's practically on everything. I do absolutely answer my messages. I absolutely communicate with people. So if someone said, hey, I want to learn more, I have some money that I want to make work, I have some people that I want to educate, from yourself to your family to your teens and your children. I know that you all kind of touched on teaching our children how to participate in this also. I am a full support of that. I have I have 2 kids, and my son is in the process of learning the trade, and he's trading Forex, and he's trading cryptocurrency. And that purpose is because next year he'll be a senior, and then he'll go to college. So instead of mom worrying about how am I going to pay for college, I am teaching him that he'll never have a broke college day in his life. And that's a skill that nobody will be able to take from him. So with that, I want to empower other parents to do the same. Like, we can actually take control of our financial future with some skills. So you can reach me there, and let's talk about it. I have access to a community where we have classes. We teach people from everything involving cryptocurrency. We teach you from the beginning to the end. And like I said before, in securing your coins and actually knowing the use case of what is important with your coins. All cryptocurrency is not the same. You have some that are good, some that are great, and some that are trash. So you need to be able to know that difference. And I actually, like, in the process of sitting here and having this conversation with all you amazing people, I was thinking about doing like a little snippet show myself. And I came up with the entire idea. So plug into my social media, because we're going to be doing crypto tea, where we're going to just discuss small snippets, because the education is absolutely needed. And once people have the education, then they can make a more educated move. You know what you're doing with your money. And people tell you, oh, well, you shouldn't have your money in the bank. Okay, you want to have access to your money to have your money in the bank. But as far as these investments and these old terms, and these 401ks and things of that nature, some of that money, not all of it, some of that money needs to be invested into cryptocurrency. You need to know how to make that money work for you. That's pulling from different avenues that you have available to you now. And don't think that you need $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. If you have it, great. But you can literally put $100 every paycheck into cryptocurrency. $100, $200, $50, whatever you have, to be able to start planning your legacy for your family, because this is going to happen with or without you.
Yep.
You just get to decide what side of the playing field you're going to be on. And if people notice, the whole middle class is being eliminated.
Yep.
It's going to be poor and rich. Like, middle class is not going to last. So you need to make sure that you're on the other side of money. That comes from the education, that comes from plugging in. I am available to you. This is a passion that I have, because I am a single mom. I have watched my mother work until she's not old, but she didn't get to live her life because she worked so much. And you have so many parents that are just working and they're existing and they're not living. And this is an opportunity for us to change all of that. When you mentioned, Mr. Mallory, that you couldn't inspire those 18-year-olds and they had given up hope, I am so happy to say that within our company, majority of the company is under 26. From 18 to 26 of young people, even in Chicago. I went to an event in Chicago and it really touched my heart, because they always talking about the kids and how violent and how bad it is. And we were in a room with about 200 people, and 125 of them were under 25. They were making business moves, they were learning, they were helping each other. So it very well is possible, because this reaches them. They can understand it. When it comes to the art, there was an article about a young lady. She's 12 years old. She's made $1 million in NFTs already, because she's an artist. So there is plenty of possibility. And with that possibility, with that money, we can do things like clean our planet up. We'll have the money to be able to help more people do the things that we need to do to make sure that we can stay on Earth and not have to move to Mars. So I am MZ Whitfield. Reach out to me. Let's have this conversation. Tune in. And I am definitely looking forward to talking to everybody. Coming up, co-ops, all that good stuff, whatever. I'm down with it. If it makes sense, let's get it done.
Peace and power, very powerful conversation. And we need to have a lot more conversations like this. Powerful conversations, talking about investments, talking about different things happening. And in 2022, that's what we want to do here on the Sourceseeker Hour, as well as throughout the community. We have several brothers and sisters here that are talking about different things, and you reach out to them and fill your knowledge up. Fill your knowledge up for new things happening here and everywhere, and it's happening, and let's move forward. Let's move forward and let's keep moving forward. And I thank everybody. The Sourceseeker Hour, our 103rd episode. I'm your host, Baruti Carl Alexander. We're going to see you next time, next week, and reach out to our guests and fill your knowledge up. And thank you, everybody. We're going to see you next time. Thank you. Have a good day.